Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 2 of the BIOS update. We want to thank everyone who watched our pilot episode last week where we talked about Black Ops 3, Mortal Kombat, amongst other things. If you want to watch that, of course, the link to that will be in the description. Today, with me, we have ProSpartans, Shug5433, Half-Baked, AK, and of course, myself, Alex, or 8-Bit Remix Guy. We got a pretty good episode today, mainly because of the game that's currently playing in the background, GTA 5 on the PC. So, Pro, what do you think of the PC version so far, dude?
Pretty nice so far. The graphics look fucking amazing, obviously, as everybody already figured they would. As far as gameplay goes, plays just like a PC game should, in my opinion. Fucking console games, I think that they could probably learn something from this. Maybe tune up the mechanics a little bit. On the Xbox One and PS4, I mean, they did kind of tune it up, but I just don't think you can get what the PC has accomplished.
I think the main reason that the PC distinguishes itself from the consoles is probably the 60 FPS, or even higher than 60 if you have better setups. I think we can all agree that is the crown jewel of the PC version of this game is the 60 FPS frame rate.
Of course. I would agree with the same thing.
And the quality of some of the shaders and shadows and stuff and grass quality and depth of field, of course, which is present on the console next-gen versions, but in the PC, it just steps up to a whole new level, like way whole new level in terms of what it can do. Because, of course, you can have complicated SLI setups and powerful graphics cards. You can put like quad SLI Titans, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. You can run this on that and it'll just be amazing. At least I think so. And I'm sure all of us can agree on that too. What are your guys' favorite things about the game so far? Do you have any?
Just how fun it is.
Yeah, just how fun it is, honestly. Just driving around with buddies doing shit. I mean, Heist's obviously the crown jewel of online right now until they add something more flavorful to the game instead of just weapons and whatnot. I mean, that's what they've been doing to hold everybody else over for this time anyways. Like the 4th of July update, the Valentine's Day Massacre update. Like, they just add these tiny little tidbits of gameplay, I guess you could say, and it's good that they actually added something meaty to the online. I mean, the mission's honestly kind of stale. It's just kind of, I was playing this one mission with you guys, the Gerald mission, where you just basically go, you blow some people, you get some cocaine, and then you drive it back. That's the entire mission. It took us 2 minutes to do, if that. I mean, that's kind of stale, and that kind of isn't fun. I mean, the missions are what make GTA anyways. It's just all the craziness and all the, cop killing fun, all the just strip club adventures you can get into with your friends. That's honestly the crown jewel in my opinion. But it's good that they added something like Heist, so that if you do get bored of that, you can just kind of just go and, I guess, be a mastermind. I guess you could say.
Cause Shug, you've been going around with Stod and Harsman and just like wrecking people, haven't you? Like,
oh yeah. Purely deathmatch all day, every day.
Oh, of course, deathmatch is pretty fun, and even if you're not doing like a legitimate deathmatch, I mean.
Oh no, yeah, we don't do legitimate deathmatch. We just wreck people.
And I think that's really what makes GTA. It's always been like that, even in past ones. I mean, you just go around and just shoot people and just kill on sight. I mean, obviously you kind of hate that, but I mean, it's still GTA.
Yeah, well.
That's
the best thing I've found about it is that I haven't had this much fun in a video game playing with my friends in a long time. It's there's so much to do. I play hardline all the time with everybody. You guys, Stone, Stod, Harsman, everybody, and I just do not have the level of fun. I play all kinds of games, but it's just this game's just so different and new and working that it makes it so much better just to run around, kill people, or do heists, which were, I found more tactical gameplay playing fucking heist than I do playing Arma 3, which is like, why do I play Arma 3 now? Just wait for more heists,
I mean, the problem with Hardline, though, is I think it kind of fell into that, not exactly Battlefield kind of game style, but like that not so fun Call of Duty game style that most games have been falling into, where they just think that every game needs to be just super close quarters, just super explosive and whatnot. You know, GTA falls under the category of just none of those. It's just its own game style. You know.
Yeah, you can't compare the two games. I'm just comparing the fun level I have. I've had a lot of fun playing Hardline. In the beta, we had a lot of fun. This is way more fun than any of those games.
Well, and it's because in GTA 5 with online and you have heists, you know, you have missions, you have all that stuff. You still have story mode too, which a lot of us haven't really touched because we've been going, going ham on online together. I mean, you have elite challenges for heists. You have all of your you have loyalty challenge, which will get $1 million if you complete all the heists with your crewmates or the same 4 people. You get an in-order bonus, which is $1 million for doing heists 1 through 5 in order. You know, then of course you have that mastermind, which is 10 mil for doing all of those things and a few other things, like not dying, first person. There's a whole bunch of, there's just so much more that you can do in this game, and I think a lot of the aspects of it that make it so great is the fact that, you know, the 5 of us could jump into TeamSpeak after work or school or whatever and just hop on and fuck shit up, have a good time, go to each other's apartments and watch TV and crack jokes in TeamSpeak and just call strippers and have lap dances and get stoned,
hit that bong,
get drunk. Yep, you know, and in the heists, you know, so far the heist gameplay has been really good. ProSpartans, Alex, and Black Ops and myself have done the heist together so far, and the only one that I've had trouble with is there's been a major glitch in the prison break heist, and I don't know if a lot of other people have experienced it, but the people that I did that with told me that they experienced it too. And what it is you'll get the 5-star wanted level. And when you try to get rid of it, you can't get rid of it. And, you know, when you have a wanted level, you drive around, you'll see that the stars will start flashing and getting ready to go away. There's those times when you're like, okay, my stars should start flashing. You know, that never happened. I literally had to fly that damn plane for 2.5 hours in a single mission trying to get rid of this wanted level until we finally got it. You know, I think we spent a total, after with retries and all, about 4 hours trying to complete that mission. It was doomed from the start, so that was hellacious. But otherwise, the heist gameplay has been pretty solid. There hasn't been that many bugs or glitches. I know Alex had an issue where if he dies or if we have to restart, his game will crash and we'll have to restart the whole heist over again. You know, things like that, little bugs here and there, but otherwise it's been pretty solid.
Well, for some people, sorry to interrupt, Pro, but it hasn't really been like minor bugs per se, because I've had quite a bit of crashing issues, and I haven't been able to debug those issues yet. I can't tell if it's GPU related, if it's CPU related, if it's game file related, because I verified my game files on Steam and it said everything was okay. But I've had quite a few crashing issues. I've been able to reproduce it occasionally. Like if I aim out a window in a car, sometimes that causes it to crash. Like Half-Baked just mentioned, if we're doing a heist and we fail the mission and we have to restart, sometimes it causes it to crash. It's kind of random, I guess, but hopefully Rockstar is debugging those issues and they'll be able to patch that. And I mean, usually they've been able to do it. It's the first week of the game. I mean, we can't expect it to be perfect, can we?
No.
I mean, I don't expect it to be perfect, but I expect it to be. Some of those things that are causing these, you know, crashes and whatnot, I would expect them to have ironed them out already, just because it's been, let's be honest, 1.5 fucking years now. Longer than that, if you think about it, is all the time that they knew that they would have to put this game out. I would assume by now that they would have had this ironed out. I mean, it's not that the game is suffering because of it. I don't look at the game any differently because of the bugs. I'm just saying that these little annoyances and little inconveniences should have been worked out already, and it should be worked out now. Even, you know, the day we're recording, it still hasn't been an update. You know, these are things that people have been discussing around the internet, and they still haven't been. I don't know if Reddit's just, or you know, not Reddit, Rockstar's just been, you know, preoccupied, but it just seems like they haven't been putting as much detail into PCs.
They've had 2 years to do it, though. I mean, think about it. They've delayed the game on PC like how many times now? Like 5 times, 4 times? It's been way too long, in my opinion, for them to have some of these minor glitches that they have. It's even like the launcher for the game is glitching for some people. That's a trivial thing that shouldn't even be a problem in the first place.
I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, but I mean, you know, like we say, you know, they didn't know they don't know. They can't just predict what all this new equipment that is coming out. New graphics card, new CPUs, whatnot. You can't just account for all of that shit and all of everybody's different types of rigs. So I mean, just because one bug is affecting you might not be affecting the rest of the world, and it's hard to just be able to just be like, okay, well, we'll just fix this one bug because one person's having to deal with it. And I mean, should be happening. I'm not saying it should be happening, but I mean, I guess we got to cut them a little bit of slack, just a little bit. I mean, if the problems continue and they still don't fix it, then we could finally start bitching about something.
That's like my least favorite thing about the game so far is probably the crashes I have. But I mean, obviously it's a minor thing because it seems to be isolated. Because on the GTA 5 subreddits that exist, there hasn't been like widespread issues of crashing. So I know I'm one of the minority for the crashes. But
let me tell you the difference between what happens when this game crashes and when another game crashes. When Hardline crashes, I get pissed and I'll go play BF4 or something else. This was before GTA came out. When GTA crashes, I just fucking restart GTA. Get back on.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
No, go on, AK. I'm sorry.
We're all in the honeymoon phase of the game right now. Just because you're saying that now doesn't mean it won't change in the future.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest. I mean, it's the first week. We all love the game. That's evident. But 8 months down the road, if it keeps crashing, I'm sure I won't feel the same. Or a year, however long it may be.
It could take a month if we keep trying to do these heists and your shit keeps crashing when we restart a heist. I mean, you could be pissed off in 2 weeks and just say fuck this game. I mean, it just depends on how much you're willing to take and how much you're willing to also look the other way and say, you know what, it's okay, I can just do it again and it'll be fine. But it's I don't know. It can go either way.
And I think one of the other issues that Rockstar could have in the future is people cheating and modding an online mode. Because I've seen videos on the subreddit of people using God mode. I'll put that on screen now. It's going to be kind of shitty if Rockstar doesn't crack down on that. Because God mode's not fun. If you're going up against it, obviously you can't kill him. But, I mean, it happens for all games, of course. But I feel like Rockstar should be on top of that from the start.
Well, there is hackers in every game. I mean, you just can't account for all the people that want to be little assholes and just, haha, I killed you, you can't kill me. We can't account for all of that. Rockstar can't account for all that, especially, and, there's hackers in every single game. Just every single game has hackers. Look at other games like, let's, give survival games out there, H1Z1, DayZ, those type of games. There's hackers in every game. You just can't get them all. And that's as simple as that. Should there be some kind of anti-cheat software of some kind? I'm sure there is. I'm sure that we just don't see it, I'm sure there's people being banned right now. At this very moment, I'm sure someone just got banned somewhere. We just don't know about it, and we probably won't ever see it unless it's really apparent,
Yeah, it's not like in CS where it's advertised that they use Valve anti-cheat, or in Battlefield, you see all the chat boxes for Punkbuster streaming or, whatever.
Fair fight.
Exactly, or Fair Fight.
I just hope that, like, the cheats and stuff, they don't try to crack down on modders, because I know we talked about this last week, that the mods in this game are going to be really important. And we can all agree, right? Like, mods are going to make this game.
No, mods are terrible. No, we don't want mods. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it's a great aspect of the game, like we touched on last week. It really though mods. There's not a whole lot of I wonder how they're going to do the multiplayer modding. That's what I'm really concerned about, and that's what I believe Rockstar is concerned about too, because
private lobbies.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're gonna have to, in order to play multiplayer with mods, you're gonna have to private lobby, and I don't think they're gonna allow any modification to the actual online that's tracked, and statted. And you can obviously mod the hell out of story mode as much as you want.
But there's the implication there, because technically the story mode is also always online as well. So even if you make a mod for story mode, you now have to deal with the Rockstar Social Club DRM crap that they decided to implement with the game, which I still have no clue why they decided to do that. I can understand if you were signing into GTA Online, but for the single player, I shouldn't have to be signed on to the Social Club.
Yeah, but see, your gameplay in story mode isn't affecting other multiplayer players when you may be logged into Social Club, but when you mod your local game files for story mode, it's not going to affect anybody else. That's why there's no limitations. That was their main concern at Rockstar, was making sure that the integrity of the game is not affected as a whole with modding.
I'm just looking forward to some of the mods like Carmageddon. I don't know if you guys have heard of that from GTA 4.
Oh, I remember.
If you guys don't know, I'll overlay a video on screen right now of what Carmageddon is. But basically, the vehicles in the game are modded so that whenever you touch them, they just like fly at like not like the speed of light, but they just go everywhere, and cars are flying everywhere, and it's like they have a random trajectory path. And it was one of my favorite mods because it's just like chaos, and all this people in the city, all the AI are just running around screaming, and there's explosions happening everywhere. It's just one of those mods. It's like chaos, and I love me some chaos. And I'm just looking forward to some of the GTA 5 mods because of the increased render distance, the increased graphical fidelity. I mean, it's going to be sick, some of these mods. And of course, the texture mods are going to be awesome as well. I mean, if GTA 4 could look like real life, I can't imagine what GTA 5 is going to look like in terms of what they can do with some of the texture mods.
Oh, I mean, there's an EMB mod for GTA 4 right now. I saw a video of it the other day. It looks amazing. I mean, I'd honestly say it almost looks better than GTA 5. And once people, start modding it and start being able to put those EMB mods into like stuff like GTA 5, I think that there's gonna be graphical differences that we've never seen before on any game. Honestly, I mean, this game already looks better than most.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Most people probably don't even have the VRAM to run mods.
HD textures and whatnot. I think it's gonna look amazing. Just amazing.
That is true.
Because I know they're gonna be running crazy mods. Nah, you're not. Don't crash.
Well, the VRAM, I think more people are starting to flow towards when it comes to their video cards, at least 4GB VRAM. So, and there aren't too many cards out, in the mass market that hit 6 at this point.
There's
unless it's the biggest part of the market for graphics cards is 2GB VRAM, and then you hit the 4, and then if you want more than that, you usually go SLI instead of a 6GB single card.
That's not how it works. Actually, you don't add RAM. It stays the same RAM. It just spreads.
Well, I mean that, but I'm saying that at 2GB graphics cards with 2GB of VRAM, and then or you buy a card with 4GB of VRAM, or if you want to, have a little bit left to be able to use SLI, use your SLI cards.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that you add RAM. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the market for cards, most of what people have, because the cheapest is 2, and then 4, and then so on.
Well, technically, I mean, if you want to get technical, you can get cards with like 5, 12, or 1, but that's not even feasible in today's games. You're just not going to be able to run anything. But I get what you're saying, because there's only 2 or 3 or 4 cards on the market which have like 6 or more, and of course that's Titan, Titan X, Titan Z.
Yeah.
And I think the 980 has 4, the 970 has 3.5, 780 Ti I think has 3. But if you want to run those texture mods, you really have to get way higher end graphics cards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the higher end graphics cards, yeah, you're gonna be needing them, because I've been trying to run Skyrim mods with my 770, and for the most part it did okay, but since it only had 2GB of VRAM, texture pop-in would be horrible. And
of course.
in some locations, like with some of my mods with like grass, it puts grass in the world and whatnot, you would walk into an area and then for no reason, even if it was out in the wilderness, your FPS would drop to like 20.
Oh yeah, grass is hard for GPUs to render, and that's one thing I've noticed in GTA. Even on my 970 overclocked, I mean, it's a pretty good performer, but when I push the grass textures up, I can tell that it just struggles. Like out in the forest areas of the map, like on the north end of the map, it struggles. It goes 45 FPS, 55 FPS, and this is what I'm getting like 90 in the city. Like it tanks it that much, and of course shadows come into play, anti-aliasing comes into play, but I think in all games, grass is just something that's hard to render because there's so much to do with it.
Well, especially when you have counteracting factors like wind and such.
Oh yeah, it all plays a factor.
AK, what's your favorite part about the online gameplay? We didn't really get to hear from you earlier.
Well, the problem is on my end, I haven't been able to experience, GTA Online like all you guys did, but until tonight, whenever I was playing with you on all the missions. I've done some solo stuff, and I've wandered around the open world, and like the most fun I've had was doing the missions with you. I like playing with people that I know, and I also like blowing stuff up. I was trying.
Oh, of course.
Right before we hopped on to record this, I was currently at some point looking for people. I was holding a rocket launcher in my hand because they had killed me. I was looking for the car that they were driving because I had a personal vendetta to just blow up everything they knew and loved.
Oh my God, AK.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy. I was in the maps. I was looking at the map at the time, and then suddenly all I hear is the loud fire of like a submachine gun, like the Uzi, and then my health bar is just getting knocked down, and so I go hide behind a car, and then I get shot through the windows of the car, and then I spawn, and for some reason the GTA spawns online, how they work is they like to do the revenge spawn system from the old Call of Duty games where you'll spawn right up somebody's ass, or at least right down the street from them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so I was pulling out my rocket launcher. I was thinking, okay, well, they're going to come get me again because I know I spawned by them, and I know they saw me. So I was waiting for them. I had taken aim, and I had just locked onto the car when Lester called me. Lester does not call you until you hit a certain level in GTA Online, and he'll offer you jobs and eventually the heists and stuff like that. Well, just as I locked onto Lester, just as I locked onto the car, Lester called me, and then like all my progress with locking on went away, and I couldn't aim the rocket launcher. I couldn't shoot it at all. Lester was talking to me in my ear. I couldn't hear him because I was too busy banging my head on the desk because I just got clipped by their car and went flying. As I picked myself off the ground once more, I then got shot. I was too busy cussing, like you all heard. I was cussing out the game for the most part because I was just so angry that I had died unnecessarily. But yeah, that seems to be my biggest experience with GTA so far, is getting fucked over by Lester.
He was so salty. He was so salty.
So salty, so salty.
No, I've had that happen before. I was just trying to shoot somebody, and Lester calls, and it takes away your reticle, and you're just like, what the fuck?
That's another one of my least favorite things about the game. The persistence of the characters trying to call you. I mean, I've seen it in other YouTubers' videos as well. They get called like all the time, and they just get so mad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, why do they call that much? Can't they wait like 10 minutes instead of like 30 seconds? I feel like they could wait a lot longer. But I mean, apart from that, I'm sure as a whole, we don't have many gripes about the game. Like, has anyone had any like serious issues with it, or is it just like minor things?
Other than having to do that fucking heist mission for 4 hours because of that wanted level, no, I'm good. The game's awesome.
Yeah,
Mad because bad?
Yeah, okay.
So I think can we agree that the game's lived up to the hype, like the PC version?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, it was definitely worth the 2-year wait.
Oh, I think it was.
200 and something online players right now. I'm pretty sure it was worth the hype.
Now, speaking of waiting years for a game, we've waited 2 years for GTA. That is nothing in comparison to what we've waited for the next Star Wars Battlefront. Now, this is a game that I've been waiting for years, ever since I've been playing Battlefront 2 on the PS2 way back when, like middle school, elementary school. Battlefront 3, it's official. November 17th is the official release date. Now, how did someone find that? There's a new website for the game, actually. It just went live today. I'll link it down below, link on screen annotation. The official website for Battlefront 3, or it might even just be called Star Wars Battlefront, I don't know. It just went live. And they're actually coming out with the official gameplay trailer tomorrow. And if you're watching this after, I'll have that link down below, obviously. But we're getting our first official trailer tomorrow. They actually have an in-game render of a stormtrooper. I think it's a stormtrooper. No one actually knows what it's actually called, but I'll overlay that on screen now. It is an in-game render, and I want to emphasize that because it is what it will look like in-game on your own system. It's not like a Photoshop render or anything. It is what it will actually look like, and this fucking excites me like no other. The hype train is on full speed. Is anyone else like super amped for the Battlefront?
I remember playing Battlefront 2 on the original Xbox. I'm totally hyped for it. There's some good memories, gaming memories. I'm ready to get back and be all nostalgic about it. I just hope that they don't Call of Duty the shit out of it, though. I hope that it's pretty true to Star Wars.
Don't you wait? Don't you mean Battlefield? There's like
it's gonna be exactly like Battlefield.
No, I mean like they make it a little too bad, you know. Like you can make
they turn
a game
into another hardline.
Yeah.
Oh no! Please don't say that.
Yeah. Like okay, here. This is what I'm trying to say. Like
what's wrong with
Battlefield 4, right? Battlefield 4, but Battlefield 4 was right. They had really nice cars, vehicles. Vehicle gameplay was it was awesome, right? I want to just be able to get into an AT-AT and then just destroy everybody, all right? I want to do that. I just don't want. Let's say they have Jedis in the game like they did Battlefront 2, and they have the Sith, and then you just get like long range with a fucking lightsaber, you know, like they just snap on you, and then they just like they commando style you with Call of Duty Commando. They just like across the map just boom, snap it right into you, and then you're dead. You don't really get a warning or anything. You're just dead.
Well, Battlefront 2 had the boomerang lightsaber. If you remember.
I really hope that if they're gonna have something like that, I hope that they just make something so you can block it at least, because Jedis were really fucking OP, and you had a guy on the other team with like a really nice Jedi, you were just done. There was nothing you could do. You were done. You were Jedi'd.
Well, you could like C4 the Jedi or the hero. I think it's called a hero, right? Isn't that what it's called in Battlefront? I don't remember, but whatever it is, I think you're just able to like C4 it and you take the health down like at least halfway. I remember doing that even like a few weeks ago because I have it on Steam and I play online, and I C4 the crap out of like Darth Vader and just kill him. But I had some really fond memories on that game.
I mean, it's like I said, if they just do it right, you know. I mean, as far as guns go, I mean, there's different variants of guns in the world of Star Wars. That's not going to be a problem. They're going to have a lot of guns to go off of. But as far as like attachments, you can't really put like a silencer on a blaster, you know. Like that just doesn't work unless they go off of like the canon script. Which in that case, if they do that, then I guess you could have some kind of fun, you know, with Battlefield-ish type things.
Now I think that's going to be one of the main issues of Battlefront, because I know Shug, I can probably talk to you about this one. Mm-hmm. How close do you think it can be to BF4 before people complain?
Well, it's the same engine, isn't it?
Yeah, Frostbite 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be very similar. I hope it's the same thing. I hope BF4 is fun right now. It's good. Everything works, you know.
But it took them...
BF4 is fun right now. I just hope that they don't remove things. They don't fuck shit up. They do everything right.
Netcode.
You know, netcode wise. I hope it's what am I trying to say? I hope it's just like a reskin of BF4, kind of. Obviously, it won't be because it's completely different game, universe, everything like that.
Mechanics
but I want to pick my gun. I want to pick, you know, my skin. Do I want to be like, what kind of stormtrooper do I want to be? Or are there 4 different classes? You know, that'd be fun. Just in Star Wars terms, that'd be so sick. Just like that.
But in doing that, I mean, they have to, in my opinion, create a good balance between keeping the Battlefront series, like the classic things in Battlefront series. Like in Battlefront 2, you know, you had the different classes, and on each faction, each side had unique things to them. Like on the Rebel side, they had the one that went invisible. I can't remember what it's called. But it had like the incinerator and it went invisible. It was like the stealth thing. And then of course on the droids you had the droidica, you know, a little ball thing with the shield that was OP as fuck. You guys remember that? Yeah. I hope that they can balance out the uniqueness of the Battlefront series to the fluidity of like Battlefield and the Frostbite engine. That's something that I personally am looking forward to.
It's going to be nothing like Battlefront 2.
No, of course it can't be.
A lot of people think it's gonna have the same style and the same gameplay, but it's not. It's gonna be completely different. Hopefully it's first person. If it's third person, that game's gonna shit. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Unless there's a way to go third person and first person.
No, it's still gonna suck. First person or third person only.
Third person, can only pick one. Around corners too. That's one of the issues.
You know, why would I run third person when somebody's gonna just wreck me with a battle rifle peeking around a corner?
Very true.
I'm always gonna run for it because it's gotta be somewhat competitive. It can't just be a completely casual game. I'm still gonna want to go in there and PTFO sometimes. You know, try to win some games, kill as many people as I can. I don't want to just run around, oh look, it's Star Wars. You know, like no, I want to shoot people.
Yeah, but what's so much of a different? Can't speak. What's the biggest disadvantage between third person and first person? Because what I've discussed, some of the people that have played Elder Scrolls Online, which allows that option, it is an MMO, which is a different beast altogether. But when they say that when they're doing a PvP like thing, playing first person does reduce your field of view by a lot, and at least in third person, you can cycle around the camera and actually have a wider view of what's going on around you, and you can spot people easier instead of what's going to be technically your eyes at the time.
But that's the issue with first-person shooters and MMOs. Because in first-person shooters, I mean, you see around a corner, you have the advantage already. The other guy doesn't know you're there. He can't see you from in the open, but you can see him from behind cover. He comes up to you, you peek out, and headshot him. That's the difference between MMOs and first-person shooters. And I honestly hope Battlefront's first-person only. That would be perfect. And the story has to be good too. And speaking of the story, the movie is coming out in December. It's going to come out after the game's released. And I think they're going to have aspects of The Force Awakens in the game. I kind of hope they do, because that'll be pretty cool. We get a sneak peek at the movie.
100% they're going to. They're going to, what is that little droid? The BB-8, a little tiny droid that just kind of rolls around in every trailer we've seen so far, Yeah. They're totally going to have that in the game. They're going to have that as probably like a sniper perk, you just send it around and you get to scout the area out, kind of like in Hardline with the cameras, or what was it, BF4, the Maverick, whatever the hell it was?
Mav.
The little drone, the Mav. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be something like that. As far as classes go, I mean, you could probably just piece it together and what it's going to be. The engineer is going to be the one stormtrooper that's always working on cars and shit. I mean, like, you can kind of piece together just by just a trailer that came out. You can kind of piece together what's going to be in the game because they're working pretty close together. So I mean, which is what I'm gonna love about it, because I want to play the game, right? I'm gonna play the game. I want to go to that movie that day and be like, oh yeah, I do that in that game. I want to go and be like, oh yeah, it's so sick. I did that in the game. That's so cool. I think that's really cool. I want elements in the game. I want both of them to represent each other. I don't. That makes sense. I just want it all to tie in together somehow. I mean, it's pretty hard. They said, what do they say? That Battlefront 3 is going to take place between the entire saga. Is that what I remember?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Battlefront 3.
Yeah. Different maps, different stuff.
It was supposed to be between like the episode 6 and episode 7, right?
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, it does allude to things in episode 7, but I think the time period was supposed to be between episode 6, where Darth Vader, the whole Empire was defeated, Luke did his thing, and then where in episode 7 where they're all old now, and Luke's I think Luke, I haven't read any of the Star Wars like fiction or novels or anything, but I think Luke's pretty high up in the Jedi Order, if not the leader, and probably just events that lead up to it. Probably it won't be too big of a deal, because I can't remember, like I said, I haven't read any of the fiction, but I can't remember any significant conflicts going on during that time that would warrant something too significant, unless it was like this is literally at the end of like Battlefront 3's story mode or whatever, like this is happening and this is going to happen in episode 7, like something big is happening right then.
even if it's a little bit, I'm still excited for the new story.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the new movie trailer came out today.
Oh.
And it's an epic trailer. Here, I'll put the trailer on screen. I'll put the trailer in its entirety on screen right now.
The Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it. You have that power too. We're home.
Oh man, that trailer just gave me a fucking nerdgasm. It was amazing.
I think we're missing out on the big question, though. The big question here is, will we be able to fly the Millennium Falcon in Battlefront 3?
Oh,
No.
I would love to, but I don't think it'll happen.
No.
Or
Maybe
will it just be shitty ass TIE fighters and X-wings?
Hey,
No,
they aren't that
no,
shitty.
Just
The
they're
single
not
player,
shit. They're
you
not
will.
shitty, but
We
I
want
don't
to
know,
fly
I
the
don't
Millennium
know.
Falcon.
I want to fly the fucking Millennium Falcon. I want it to
No.
be like a fucking, I don't know. I just want it to be something. I want it to be cool as fuck. We go take down the Death Star or something, you know. I just want something to be cool with the Millennium Falcon. Like, who doesn't want to fly the Millennium Falcon, you know what I mean? Who doesn't want to do that?
I don't know if we would be able to fly it, but we may be able to do something like Han. Like maybe they might call in like airstrikes or something like that. Or they call in Han Solo to provide some air support.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Because there's only one Millennium Falcon, and you don't touch.
No,
Han
you can't
Solo's
call
Millennium
in
Falcon.
things to help you out.
Damn.
That ruins
This isn't Call
the
of Duty.
competitive-
Yeah,
Goodness
it's
of it.
not kill streaks.
and no
Yeah.
kill
I
streak
didn't say
rewards.
kill streaks. I meant
That's a kill streak.
That's what you described as a kill streak, 100%.
That's like what is it? The gun run? I can't remember what Call of Duty that's from, but I mean it's just like that. I mean you call it in.
No,
The B-52
is,
from
like,
Black Ops 2 is what I'm thinking of.
I'm not talking about getting a certain number of kills. Maybe when you do an objective mode, you do these sorts of stages, and then like finally you'll call in, air support to finally finish off like a fucking whatever. It could be like in Rush from Battlefield or whatever. Like you have to grab the objective, but you do it in stages over the course of the map.
Let's talk about that. What do you guys think the objective is going to be? I mean, it's going to be Battlefield, obviously, elements of it. There's got to be an objective. There's an
Well, it's gonna
objective
be
in
game
every
modes.
fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what game modes will it be, though? Like,
I have no
TDM.
idea.
There'll be
It can't be
TDM.
Rush.
There will be
yeah,
TDM, I guarantee.
TDM is a must. TDM is a
Conquest.
must in every video game.
There'll be
Conquest. You really
conquest.
think
There
Conquest?
will be small conquest or
domination.
domination.
Capture the flag will be
There better be
probably.
Rush. There better be Rush.
There will be capture the flag.
Even the
I guarantee
movies,
it.
there's like Rush gameplay.
Where?
Like when they're on the moon and they start at the fucking base, then the battle goes out into the forest. You know?
Yeah.
On end.
Like,
You are
oh.
right. I never actually thought about that.
There needs to be Rush. That's what's missing in Hardline. There needs to be a game mode that compacts the map, but also uses the entire map throughout the entire game. You know?
Do you guys think there will be a search and destroy, Counter Strike, defuse type game in Battlefront? Do you think there will be?
No.
No, it won't.
Well, you're talking about search and destroy or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the typical Counter-Strike CT2-sided.
This is the reason I don't think so. This is the exact reason I don't think so. Is because I think DICE wants to be its own game. But DICE has acquired this. They're like, you know what? Let's make Battlefront stand out from the rest of the games. I mean, Star Wars is pretty outstanding to begin with. You know, like there's nothing like Star Wars except for Star Trek. But let's not talk about that.
No,
you know?
It's not.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's just come up with all new game modes. We can. I'm sure they'll bring back things like Conquest and TDM and Rush. I'm sure they'll bring that back just for like the die-hard Battlefield fans to try to get back, to try to get them into Star Wars if they're not already. But I feel like they're just going to come up with this whole new slew of game modes, which I'm sure will be awesome as fuck. Maybe there really will be a Death Star. You're the Empire, and the other team's the Rebels. You need to stop the Death Star from blowing up. Maybe there's something like that. Like I'm just saying, like that's outside the box. That's more outside the box than some game modes in some games.
I know it's probably too much to ask, but I really hope that they don't borrow too much from Battlefield's game modes, because this is an entirely different, series.
Okay.
Series altogether.
At the end of the day, it is still DICE. I'm sure DICE will still have DICE type stuff in the game. It's just
DICE
what
physics.
It is. The DICE physics. I mean, it's honestly just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
You're gonna vault over a barrier and you're gonna fly in the air. It's just gonna happen.
Well, those things can be fine, because that's also part of Battlefront. But I mean, what I expected, or what I am hoping for this game, would be to more fully flesh out the idea of like what to do in a Star Wars, Battlefront game, because okay, it's DICE, but it doesn't mean DICE didn't have a separate team working on, Battlefront 3 and, had its own ideas generating, while Battlefield, 4 Battlefield Hardline was even being made. I'm hoping that whatever the team or whatever, subset of people that DICE put on this project decided, let's wash our hands off of Battlefield as much as possible and try to make this a game you'll truly remember.
And I think they did that. I mean, that's pretty much why they dumped off BF4 to DICE LA. They wanted to get rid of that game and start working on Battlefront. I mean, don't you think, Shug? I mean,
yes.
I fully think that's why Battlefield 4 sucks so bad, is because they were splitting their resources between Battlefield 4 and Battlefront. And they couldn't do that. That's why BF4 sucks so bad, because they just wanted to get rid of it.
No, I think they just fucked up BF4. They were like, you take it.
Yeah.
And then they just started working on Star Wars.
Anyways, as a whole, I think the Battlefront 3, Battlefront 2015, Star Wars Battlefront, whatever it's called, I have high hopes. I think it will be a good game. I have all the hope that DICE will make it a successful game. And I think this is where we're going to stop the podcast for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of the BIOS Update. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to see more, there is a playlist, which I'll link down below. Please subscribe if you want to see more weekly episodes of anything technology gaming related. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you, family.